and brain is IQ, heart is thinking of that. See, the personality of a person is thinking of the both sides. One is the thinking part, another is the feeling part. Put together is IQ. Thinking part is essential in the beginning stage. Yeah, when you go for an interview or when you are a college student, okay, IQ is very important thing for this. That's the IQ shows the thinking part. Second is the feeling part. You must feel, when you say feel, feeling of others, feeling of yourself, feeling of empathetic feeling is required. Until these are the feeling part. This will only make you to grow in the life. This will be initial stage. When you want to grow in your life, personal life and official life, feeling part is very important thing. So when you say what is IQ and EQ, is there any difference? Is there IQ and EQ? Yes. IQ gets higher. If you want to hire a person, first I see the IQ person in the initial level. I'm not talking about the senior person level. When a person is 25 years of experience, 35 years of experience, like Dr. Chan and Dr. Madam, and they're respected only for the EQ, how to manage the emotions of the person individually and emotions of other people. So EQ gets you fired. If you are not performing well, you are fired, and if you're performing well, you are up. You are promoted for this. Am I right, Dan? Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
100%. 100% we are agreeing. Yeah.
The professional success, this is called professional success, nothing else. I'm an individual success is both required. Individual success is EQ is more 80% than IQ. In the family, if you want to be successful in the family, EQ plays a vital role because you are handling the people, you are handling the emotions of the people, your family. EQ plays the same way you are handling the emotions of the staff members, you are handling emotions of the employees. Okay. How would you feel? I lost my emotion. My goodness. See here, like this, it goes like this. I feel stressed and weak. I'm very weak. I lost my confidence. Why it is happening there? It's not happening there. Every individual at one point of time, they get distressed, demotivated. They are too much of tension, stress, too much of stress, mentally weak, physically weak. All the things happening there. Yes. It is a part of the life. As a human being, we have to undergo this sort of a thing. Somebody as a manager, as a senior person, I can't think positively anymore. Come on, exhausted. He said, I'm exhausted in my mind. I can't think positively anymore. What to do? You think can he live as it is? As a head of the institution or head of the company, as a MD or the chairman of the company, or a senior president of the company, he cannot say, come on, you are exhausted like this. He cannot be like that. So he has to make his alternative arrangement for these things because no one is like that. Why can't you change that? Is it possible to change? Yes. The question is yes, possible to change. The only way to change your situation is to develop your emotional intelligence. EQ is a quotient for the things. EI is emotional intelligence is very important thing for this. We said IQ is important at the beginning stage. When you go at the higher level, EMI is important. Aristotle, emotions. When you say Aristotle, we think of emotions for him there. I'll talk to you about who is the emotion, how the emotion is coined there at a stage. What is your emotion? When you say emotions, it's a bundle of love, fear, anger, pity, kind of pleasure, kind of distress, kind of sorrow, kind of sadness, kind of pain, undergoing pain, mental pain, physical pain. All the things are a part of emotion. It is experienced or expressed. Probably somebody may experience or somebody may express the emotions for the things. In either case, it is not properly elicited. It's not properly elicited. Experience and expressing all this one, when you experience or when you express these emotions, how you show emotions at the right time. The right time is required. Right object and the right people, right time, right people, the right person, right reason. See, we get angry and we got emotionally upset for the thing. So why you get angry, why you get emotion, we do not. When you are in anger, we lose our temper, we do not know what to talk, we are not speaking to the right person. And if you control your emotions, everything will be calm. The emotions can be controlled by 3 C's: cool, calm, and compose in the nature. IQ is mainly used to cognitive capabilities. I don't want to explain because if you're a student, I can explain to them there. I don't want to explain. We are all across the stage of explanation stage. Everything is a self-explanatory for this. IQ consists of memory, your memory power, left brain, right brain. Left brain is logical, right brain is analysis for these things, creativity. And the speed in your calculation, speed in your thinking. Creativity is more important thing. It's part of the day, part of the life. Flexibility, you should be flexible according to the situation, according to the person. And focus focus on your approach, focus on your, any attempt in your work. Attentive, wherever you go, they be attentive. These are all the part of the IQ part of it. When you say EQ, the ability to identify and assess what? The ability to identify and assess and control the emotions of others. First, emotions yourself. Control your emotions. And the emotions of others is the most important thing as a manager. When you go as a manager, the head of the institution, you control the emotions of others. When there's a dispute, conflict management will be there. Control the emotions of them in a different way. Control the groups. When you go for a group or a team, control the emotions of others. IQ is innate quality. A gene probably there. Your forefather maybe there. IQ may be innate quality. There are a few people that are born IQ, and people that are made IQ policies. EQ is a trainable, yes. IQ is innate quality, and EQ is a trainable policy. Yes, you can train your emotional quotient for this. The greater productivity of any organization depends on the EQ. In the beginning, IQ is required, and when you are experiencing people are there, when you get a gaining experience, EQ is very important. Next, we will go for spiritual quotient. It's more important thing. And we were talking about the Tan was talking in a couple of days last week. He was talking about spirituality. He nicely explained about what is spirituality, and Buddhism was talking very nice about the Buddhism, how Buddhism plays a role in spiritual and spirituality for this. Inner wisdom is guided by compassion. EQ is a heart, IQ is a head, and SQ is a soul. You know what is the soul? Let's see, when we die at the time of death, the soul is only departed, the body is perished. The soul is very important for the things. So it's a noble soul, we can say, not a noble body. Nobody will say it's a noble body, a noble soul. The soul is departed. The soul is a micron of small thing which is invisible. That soul is plays a vital role for the individual to attain the moksha, whatever you say, they do things like that. Next, we go for AQ. AQ is nothing but adversity quotient. Nowadays, adversity is there. Yes, a man is bundle of adversity is there. At the time of adversity is there, and then Albert Einstein, he has followed it. Intelligence, he is low intelligence at the time. Thomas Alva Edison, he failed 999 times. I cannot say fail. Fail is nothing but first attempt in life is called a fail, as Abdul Kalam said. First attempt in life, FAIL, is a fail, and is a very successful man. Richard Branson suffers in dyslexia and then is dropped out from the college because of this. Is a great motivational speaker in the world. Bill Gates failed early in the business ventures. Successful man. The failure makes a man perfect. Failure makes a man to grow. This is the example for this. Everybody faces adversity in their life. Adversity makes a man to think, ink, and sink. What is a CQ? Anybody knows? You're not a student. Just I'm out of curiosity. I'm asking you that. What is a CQ?
Is it common sense?
No. Curiosity quotient.
Curiosity quotient. Okay.
That's what I use the word curiosity to you. Curiosity is to learn something else, curious to know so many things. That's called a curiosity quotient. Not curious to know about what others are doing there. What's the gossiping? This is not a curiosity.
The
curiosity is nothing.
One question. One question.
Yeah.
Only one question. The
Curiosity,
I can understand. The CQ you invented or you have referred somewhere?
Somebody spoke there. I have taken this reference.
Okay.
Okay, curiosity quotient. Who are always learning. They are in the learning habit, always learning habit. And then their minds are always hungry for me. If I am hungry, I go to kitchen, take the food. Like this, the curiosity is required for you to learn. So many things are there. In this case, I see Tan is a person. An example for you, I can take Tan. It's a curiosity for this. And yeah, madam is also that curiosity. No, when I have impacted many times.
Sir, any children is curious about learning, sir. So we should have that childness always.
Child mentality required. Yes.
Exactly.
Child mentality required when you go for the curiosity.
Childlike mentality. There is also a
childlike mentality.
We shouldn't be childish, but we should be childlike.
But at times we are childish.
Always, I am.
Very good. Okay. Pyramid of model of 4 intelligence. I explained to you that PQ is a physical quotient. Physically fit, mentally fit. For the physically body awareness, like doing yoga and then doing meditation like that, physically fit. IQ is mental and verbal quotient, IQ intelligence. EQ is managing a relationship. How do you manage your relationship with others, with yourself, with others? That's more important thing. It also consists of.
So in the pyramid, we are yet to include that CQ. Is it so?
Yeah. CQ it includes.
You are yet to include. Okay. So there is
CQ.
Sir, Professor Tan, kindly note down. You have future research. Your future research can be focused on CQ. And add in that pyramid where it comes. Is it at the bottom or at the top?
This is called curiosity.
That's right. Oh. Okay. So should
this is called curious to know what is this missing.
This can be definitely. This can be a hypothesis. We can whether it should be at the bottom or it should be at the top. That can be the hypothesis for the future research. Thank you so much for adding that in our conference.
And trainability. IQ is inherited. You know what is IQ is inherited? Definitely, it is. I cannot. Totally agree with this thing. But generally, IQ is inherited. They say forefather, great forefather. They are all IQ. That's why you are genius, mathematics genius, and this genius we say like this. But EQ is not inherited. It is because of the circumstances and environment you are molded. The raw clay is molded through EQ, so things are that can be taught and learned with the practice. How you practice, I'll tell you that afterwards. Can increase with the desire to learn. If you want to learn EQ, you must desire to learn. It's a part of curiosity for this. EI, innate, shaped by circumstances and environment. And emotional intelligence is shaped by circumstances and environment. Because all people will not have a conducive environment or circumstances may not be suitable for them to go for the EQ. Many people are at different level, different parameters, they are there. Can be enhanced in adulthood by increasing our ability to be proactive. Be proactive. From the adulthood itself, you can say that should be taught. IQ can be taught by everyone else, but EQ is not taught in the college level. The college level, the EQ should be taught to them there. This is most important thing.
This IQ is inherited, doesn't change significantly over lifetime. Is this, who told this? This one?
Yeah, it does not change insignificantly. I'm not talking significantly in lifetime. It will be there.
Okay.
See, IQ is inherited, does not change significantly over lifetime. That means it will be there.
You mean to say it is DNA?
Yeah, DNA, absolutely.
It's from DNA? Oh, DNA? Really?
Yeah, it is proved.
Oh, that's okay.
If
you would like to hear from Tan regarding this point, that is, what do they do in Thailand for increasing EQ? Here, what they do, we do meditation, yoga, right? Prayers, the sloga, we say sloga, and also food habits to some extent. What do you do in Thailand? Right. Maybe hear from you anything more than this you do there.
Yeah, that is right, and that is what I want to share with Professor Raghu Raman. Is that if you go back to your model in the previous slide, if you go back to your pyramid slide, if you go back, what we do is that this pyramid usually we say that SQ is at the higher level, but actually we can use SQ to drive the EQ. And to improve the IQ, to develop the IQ, and to develop the PQ. So
it is reverse.
It is not one way vertical up.
It is cycle. It should be a cycle, not a pyramid. It is a cycle.
Right. So the SQ, like Professor said, the SQ.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. The SQs. I think many people has neglected the role of SQ, not being itself at the higher level, but being a driving force for really improving the EQ, IQ, and PQ.
Inclusive of SQ is the umbrella. It is EQ plus IQ comes under SQ. It is embedded. Once you have SQ, it is embedded. It is there inside. It's not that it is not required. Once you have SQ, we can't say these two are not required. It is there already. This plus this, like 2 plus 2, 4 madri. This EQ plus IQ is equal to SQ.
Interesting. So Professor Raghu Raman, if the IQ is inherited, then why the IQ is in the middle? It's probably inherited since the very beginning. I think the SQ is really a very important driving force to enhance the EQ expanding our understandings of we, ourselves, and other people. Because if we understand ourselves, we also understand other people. And then
to conclude these things, interesting video is that.
No, you are concluding only this
I can
session.
say,
Maybe you can join.
okay. And there are a lot of things on the EQ and IQ. What is how the EQ people will react, how the low EQ, high EQ people will react like this. And then emotional intelligence is success of life. And then followed by there are 80% of people success in life because of emotional intelligence only. 90% of the high performers are the workplace in a high EQ. This is a study made for this. And followed by EQ, not only EQ important, but emotional competence also required. Be adapted to any situation, and then that is the way we can go for this. And then we can say finally, I can come to conclusion. Competency and behavior are necessary for the top performers, but of course, that's only for about 20% only. But 80% of the required self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So EQ and IQ is different. It taps into the fundamental difference for this. So certain things are there within our control, certain things which is not in our control. Outside the peripheral is outside the control. Within the control is the emotions, blessings, and then voice, appreciation, attitude, and then a healthy routine life. These are all there within our control, so that we can be successful. Outside the control, I cannot go out. I am losing my jobs, and COVID happened. COVID has taken place. That's why economy is slowed down. People are suffering. These are all outside the control. So we should be balanced ourselves, which is our control, within our control. So there's a question for this. I conclude my speech.
Yes. Thank you so much. And we are ending this session with what Professor Raghu concluded. And next session will join us. Please, I welcome you all for the next session. I conclude
myself. Last quote.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Cover the specific message the customer staying in luxury hotel share and post at TripAdvisor, and build a theory to impart to the luxury hoteler to serve the satisfaction and ensure loyalty. From the information that I got from the literature review is about the luxury consumption view. Highlight in the literature review is talking about the escapist experience that luxury hotel can provide the customer to give an opportunity that to briefly escape everyday routine from different reality. It means luxury hotel can escape the customer to give some different from their daily life. For the next one is about the feeling of luxury. It's about the luxury hotel. They design every detail like architecture and decoration or service to give the luxury experience to the customer. For the next one is about the tangible. It's about the tangible design to impress the executive or unique different set at hotel decorated with the original painting or real flower or unique facility that provide for the customer. The next one is about the luxury value. Luxury value is talking about the unique of human touch. It's about the friendly service provider, helping service provider, and unique service that from the luxury hotel, they can give the late of check out or something that's special than the normal hotel. For the methodology is we use about the nanography is a method of observation on an internet platform like TripAdvisor. It used the first one is about the validity. Is we careful study on the comment of the visitor that they come to luxury hotel and they leave the comment on the TripAdvisor, and we will highlight some special comment that reflect to the customer experience. Yes, To do so, we make use of the luxury review set at adopting the unconventional program toward experiential consumption. Worldview of luxury is a moment of luxury. For the second is about the reliability. To the data collecting and analysis, it make visible and adaptable by means of table and thematic analysis process. And for the next one is about the analytical generalizing. This one is about to build a model to present factor of luxurious experience to cause satisfaction and loyalty. And this is for about the sample of the list of luxury hotel that we got from the Reader Digest Canada website. We use the topic about the top most luxury hotel and resort around the world. And this is the example of the data collection from the TripAdvisor platform. The customer comment about the hotel. Literature review can help we to in-depth the luxury trend and theme in service and ethnographic analysis. We using the methodic data analysis method to build the theory and address research objective, and we trying to can draw the empirical for the hoteler and contribute to the body of knowledge. And thank you for attention.
Thank you.
Okay. So basically, Ning was doing was that she was looking for what kind of luxury messages that the visitors to the luxury hotels presented and shared in the TripAdvisor's platform. And nowadays it's COVID period, so it's very difficult to collect the data. So ethnography, which is similar to ethnography but on the internet, it's able to give you all the data, ready data set. The only weaknesses is that you are not able to ask the question, but you can only pick up the transcripts and the data already shared. But you got to, make sense of all the data. What exactly do they talk about and share relating to the luxury? And so, I read the literature review and identified that the terms luxury has been subjected to continuous changing from owning the product and services to really engaging and experience, and so experiencing, it's also a moment of luxury. It's not necessary that you got to own a certain product or services. You really have to engage with something unique, and that it take an effort to go and enjoy it and experience it, and that it's also that memorable experiences is a part of manifestations of the luxury. So it's doing that and has done the proposals and now into the data collections, and has just demonstrated to us how he analyzed the data through the data collections from TripAdvisor, and during the data collection and analysis, he has to make sure the validities, reliabilities, and ability to generalize in the sense that makes sense to contribute to the to the hotel industries as well as to the literature reviews. Yeah, that is basically what he's doing. And Professors Raghu Raman, any questions from your side?
The simple question, I need a clarification. I don't want to ask a question. I need a clarification from you. In your last slide, you have mentioned that literature in-depth luxury trend and theme in services. What do you mean by theme? You mentioned that the first slide
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the meaning of theme? Theme.
And theme in service. What do you mean by theme in services?
Yeah. Themes. Explain
Theme
what is the meaning of themes.
In services.
It's about the subject of something that we talk is about the moment of luxury.
No, in the hotel industry, we are service. Yeah.
Sorry, I cannot help.
You go back to your slide.
I understand. Luxury trend is important.
Go back to your literature review. Go back to your literature review. You go back to your literature review. Okay. Yeah, there are a couple of themes demonstrated. For example, when we say themes, it means things that are very important, that they are being highlighted. So it's like a variable. So we're talking about what are the themes in luxurious service experience. So one of those could be the feeling of luxury. What do they do? How do they feel? Being luxury, the tangible things involved, the luxury value, and things like that. So these are called themes. There are many more on the themes, but these are examples of the themes.
Yeah.
Okay, Ning?
Okay.
So yes. Theme is variables, okay. Like a variables, yeah.
Okay, fine, okay. Just to think about from our side, we do not know what is the theme in services, because theme is generally, we say something which is very important for the particular topic, or suppose you do the theme of the current topic, or the theme of the entire subject is, we call the theme, the crux of the entire thing is called the theme. Now you say theme in services, that's why I need a clarification from you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Right.
It's good. Yeah. Nice thing.
So good presentation. So what are the things very important to services, and those are called themes. So key things, the key important things that are very important.
All the themes.
Yeah. That we call themes. And in the qualitative methods we call themes, but in quantitative survey we call variables, or maybe the relationship between variables.
Variables. Okay, that's good. No, as a right side of the learning stage, no problem at all. Good presentation. Thank you very much.
Neem, it's a good topic and socially relevant also, and it is very current topic. As Professor Tan was rightly putting it, it is COVID-19 topic. Okay, what you should do at this time of crisis. A really good topic that you have chosen. I appreciate that, and also Tan for guiding you effectively on that. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. And the next one would be Wong. You can make your presentations on your medical. So Ning, you can close. Okay, Wong, you can make a presentations on medicals, and then followed by thumbs. So you can share.
Okay, so for my thesis is about readiness of Thailand hotel, hospital, and tourist attraction in medical tourism. So the medical tourism is very new. It's a new concept. It's about the patient traveling abroad to receive the medical treatment and taking an opportunity to travel during the medical treatment. And in this case, it's not about the patient itself. It also includes the family, the caretaker, and the growth driver of this phenomenon is the aging population. I think that in 5 years, 10 years, the baby boomer will be the main target customer in this kind of industry. Also the growing affluence, the wealthy of the people, and also the technology such as telecommunication, transportation, social media. It gives patients more information so they can seek the best choice for their health. And if you're looking at the big picture, it shows that the medical tourism is just a subset of wellness tourism. However, when patients go abroad to another country, they also engage in the food, tourism, lodging. They also do activity during the treatment time. Now the medical tourism is different from wellness tourism because it is reactive. So the condition occur and then the patient seek treatment. It's not to prevent or to optimize the health condition, but to cure the present condition or illness. And now on the left-hand side, you can see this one is the global situation that many hotels, they also change to spa hotel, health hotel, the restaurant, they become more healthy, become more organic food, healthy food. The souvenir shop, they sell more spa product, vitamin, healthy food, supplement. So the tourism as a whole become more wellness specific. However, many industries, they engage in their own way and they do not talk with each other. So there are no clear co-creation value. And for Thailand aims to be the 2020 World Medical Hub before COVID-19. So everything is postponed. And for the reason why Thailand can be the world medical hub because of the price competitiveness. You can see in the right bottom half of the screen, you can see the price comparison between the USA, India, South Korea, Mexico, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Singapore. You can see that in many countries, especially in Asia, the price is relatively lower than in the West, in the US or in Europe. And now, as I said earlier, the literature review that I see is rather fragmented or focusing on one perspective or domain or involving only the opinion of a few experts. So the research objective of my thesis would be to incorporate various stakeholder view to assess the readiness of medical tourism in Chiang Rai, Thailand. So it includes 3 main stakeholders. Now for the literature review, so the word readiness must have the clear definition in order to gain the validity and reliability. So in this case, readiness is ready to participate in the change, even though if Thailand have the good resource, have a good plan, but if the participant does not ready to change, the change will not be successful. The driver or resistance force of change can be categorized in various forms like cognitive mechanism or awareness of the problem, solution, emotional disposition, variant proposition, so the recognition of value and positive impact, efficacy or confidence, social capital or support, encouraging mechanism. So participants, are they going to get reward or benefit for engaging in medical tourism, contextual factor, government policy, and urgency of change perception of the stakeholder. And now to make use of the process maturity to identify the pattern, it can divide into 4 levels from ad hoc readiness. So the process are uninstruct and unified to the integrated readiness. So the supply chain involved medical tourism is well integrated and everyone commit to the process. Now for the method, so I'm using qualitative mode of data collection and supported by quantitative by using IPA, important performance analysis. So a clear pattern of variable relationship can be synthesized. So first I have to do the literature review and in-depth interview. Also followed by let them assess the factor, the important and the actual performance to find the gap. And lastly to plot the IPA graph to show the difference and show the relation. So the result of the finding will be first, the first objective on the left top side is to identify readiness factor, what effect the importance of the factor or performance of the factor. The second one is to identify important readiness factor reflected by IPA. On the bottom half is the interview table. So when I engage with the stakeholder, they will answer the question like factor, what value they give to the medical tourism, and also because I do this work as a medical tourism industry, so I have to know what is their co-creation area. So do they talk with each other? Do they provide package, or do they have any campaign that work together? Their competence state and their readiness level is a process majority. If I can fill this interview table, it will answer the objective 3 of this thesis. So it's to study and explore for pattern and relationship of the readiness factor and judge by readiness level. And the fourth one is to explore how the resident perceive the medical tourism development. So how the local react to the development of medical tourism. Are they agree or disagree? What makes them disagree? Do they have any impact? Do they don't notice the positive impact of the phenomenon? And now for the conclusion, so to establish a readiness structure similar to the wind. So right now in the current state, my job is to unfreeze the current state so they can change and refreeze state. So 3 main stakeholders, namely hospital, hotel, and tourist destination, they can be in the end state that ready for medical tourists after COVID-19. The contribution will be the model that link the 3 major stakeholders together, like in previous slide. And they also provide a big picture for stakeholder, the 3 main stakeholders that I mentioned, so they can engage in medical tourism effectively, so they know that it integrated readiness. What are they focusing on? What is more important? What is the performance of the current state? And also provide a big picture for the policymakers, so they can develop a long-term plan for continuous development. So right now, the government will also be see the big picture of what is going on and what is their main focus, what they might support. Okay, that would be all. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, Wong, and
Thank you. Very nice.
Very huge topic, and it was.
Was that done? Okay, Varat, it was a good presentation, and also your conceptual framework is really good. I think that would.
อาจารย์ลืมเปิดไมค์ครับ
Can you go back to the?
I'm sorry, it was on mute. So the medical tourism was a very huge topic, and he was able to he was trying to present a very simple input process output model driven by the concepts of Lewin's change. So to change, you got to really understand the views and what is going on in the change situation, so that you can start changing. And to know the change, you got to know the sort of the variables that drive the change and the sort of the stumbling blocks that prevent the changes. And if you can provide good strategies on that, then and the change will become more visible, and the medical tourism industries in Chiang Rai will be able to improve significantly. And that is his intentions for his degree. This is research, and he has done his completed his proposal, passed his proposals, and now he's in the data collection stage. Okay. So, any questions from the audience?
That's well consolidated.
Only one question. You mentioned there,
Okay.
it was a good presentation.
If you know, then we will proceed to the last presenters, okay, which is Dubs on the clinic, on dental clinic services.
Yes. Please.
So for the introductions, when searching by using the keyword dental clinic service in SciDirect and EMIRA, the tablet show a field in consumer behavior oriented the research publications. Those research are mostly focused on the area of the service quality or dental care attribute, contributing to customer or willing to pay. So that's this lacking of their theoretical model that capture complete version of the factor involved. So this gap can be lead to the following my objective. So the research objective is the purpose of this research is to propose a conceptual model to describe how patients react and interact with the dental clinic service and empirically validate the model and suggest implications for the clinic administrators, the customer, and the academicians. And from the literature review, the customer or the patients use the dental clinics service for many of the reasons, but the most of common reason is like the eliminate the pain, like the feeling the teeth, and another reason is for the oral health improvements. But that study can lead to this hypothesis. The dental service scientifically explains the level of the customer value. And another hypothesis that the customer the service are simultaneous productions and consumption lead to impulse role of the customer participations and the caring attitude of the doctor. The customer participation is by means of the information seeking, information sharing, and the responsible behavior and the customer feedback, as it will be considered. For this factor can group into the category of the other interpersonal element that can drive the performance of the dentist, and also together with the technical of the dentist for achieve the satisfactory performance. And for these two elements is advocate in the service quality instrument, the serve core, and the technical it's depend on the knowledge of the dentist. But in the other hand, the interpersonal elements, it can be used from the patient interaction, such as the communication of the patient, like sharing the necessary information to dentist for guiding the dentist to treat the right procedure or treat or the action to meet the expectation of the patients. For this one, it can lead to the four hypotheses. So the customer participation behavior scientifically explain dental service quality. And the second one is customer participation behavior scientifically explain customer value. And the third one is caring attitude of doctor scientifically explain dental service quality. And the last one is the caring attitude of doctor scientifically explain the customer value. And another literature review is when the customer regional that the unique value can receive from the dental clinic, so it would be lead to customer satisfactions and loyalty and advocacies. So for the satisfaction is to reflect the effectiveness of the clinic when the value is fulfilled and expectation of the customer needs, then the loyalty will be strong. And after that, the customer can be the advocate of our clinic, and then will be the competitive advantage. So will be lead to the two hypotheses, like the customer value scientifically explain customer satisfaction, loyalty, and advocacy, and the loyalty and advocacy lead to competitive advantage of dental clinic when compared to the other in the neighborhood. So, and this is the result when integrate of the hypothesis to the conceptual models. So the centralized will be customer participation behavior and the caring attitude of the doctor. When the customer get the treatment and then the customer get the value, the customer will be satisfaction of this service, and then will be the loyalty and advocacy. And after that will be the when the customer is availability and vacancy. So our clinics will be the competitive advantage. It will be good. And so this is the method to test the model. So we'll be by using the questionnaire based on surveys. So first we need to identify the variable and provide the definition and develop the questionnaires. So by using the PSO or the concept. So the process is, the P stand for the process, will be divided into the two things. Will be interactive process and can be divided to giving instruction and receiving instructions. The giving instruction is from the clinic, can give the information to the customer or can give more information is the proper to the customer. And the receiving instruction, the customer satisfaction will be when the customer get the treatment, the customer can satisfy the service. And the structure can be the infrastructure, the personnel, or the equipment. The infrastructure will be if the building is clean or not. And for the personnel, the doctor is the grooming of the doctor or the receptionist. And for the equipment will be the clinic. Can the clinic use the model equipment or not? And the last one is outcome, is the technical outcome and the interpersonal outcome. The technical outcomes will be the doctor, the technique of the doctor, that service of the customer. And the interpersonal outcome will be when the patients is got the service, they can fulfill like the expectations and or can improve the quality of life of the customer. That's all this.
Professor Tan, we have 2 more minutes. Kindly conclude.
Yeah, so thank you for all three. The last one was the dental clinic, and so he's trying to explore into the customer interaction, and we know that in services it is a simultaneous production and consumption. So we consume the services at the same time production was carrying it out, and so there is some value co-creation. So he was looking into some value co-creation participation of customer, which has not been properly addressed in the literature review. So although it is a regular consumer behavioral study, but there I appreciated that he identifies certain characteristics that are very important to the services that has not been addressed in the clinical dental services. Which is a good effort of the students. Sometimes when we do research, it is not necessary that we identify huge area, huge contributions. All we have to do is to pick up a couple of areas that we think that are very important that can add on. But the most important thing is that each of us doing the research, we got to be very, very much rigorous, looking into validities, reliabilities, and ensuring that things can be applying to wider audiences in a very stable sense. So yeah, I personally appreciate the three students' efforts in such a short time before the presentation, before the conferences, and they quickly organize their thought processes and defense their proposal thesis. And now the three of them are into data collections, and hopefully in another 3 months' time, they should be able to complete the data, and therefore we can see a bigger picture and better implication out of the research. Okay. So
thank you so
any
much,
other questions from audience?
No, thank you so much, Dr. Tan, Professor from School of Management, Mae Fah Luang University, and also his effective and energetic team. Thank you, Professor Raghu.